Breaking news that could put thousands of dollars directly into your bank account within the next few weeks. The government has just approved a massive fourth stimulus package that includes a $7,000 direct payment boost plus an additional $2,000 bonus for qualifying Americans. If you're wondering whether you qualify for this life-changing payment or how to claim your money, you need to stay tuned because what I'm about to share could be the difference between struggling financially and having the breathing room you desperately need. Are you tired of waiting for real financial relief while bills keep piling up and inflation continues to eat away at your purchasing power? Before we dive into all the incredible details about this new stimulus package, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because I'll be bringing you the latest updates on government benefits, stimulus payments, and financial opportunities that could change your life. You don't want to miss out on any crucial information that could put money in your pocket. The fourth stimulus check approval represents the largest direct payment program since the pandemic began, and the timing couldn't be more critical for millions of Americans who are still struggling with rising costs of living, housing expenses, and everyday necessities. This isn't just another small government handout we're talking about here. We're looking at a comprehensive relief package designed to provide substantial financial support to individuals and families across the country. The $7,000 base payment amount represents a significant increase from previous stimulus rounds, and when you add the potential $2,000 bonus payments, some qualifying recipients could receive up to $9,000 in direct government assistance. But here's what makes this stimulus package different from all the previous ones. The eligibility requirements have been expanded to include more Americans than ever before, including people who may have been left out of earlier rounds of payments. Are you someone who didn't receive the full amount from previous stimulus checks because your income was slightly too high? This new package addresses many of those gaps and includes provisions for people whose financial situations have changed dramatically over the past few years. The government has recognized that inflation and economic challenges have affected people across all income levels, not just those in the lowest income brackets. The $7,000 primary payment is structured as a baseline amount that nearly every qualifying adult American can receive, regardless of their tax filing status or whether they have dependents. This represents a fundamental shift in how these payments are calculated and distributed. Unlike previous stimulus rounds where payment amounts were reduced or eliminated based on income thresholds, this new system focuses more on current financial need and recent economic hardship rather than just looking at tax returns from previous years. Have you experienced job loss, reduced hours, increased medical expenses, or other financial challenges in the past 2 years? These factors are now being considered in the qualification process. The additional $2,000 bonus payments are where things get really interesting and potentially lucrative for many recipients. These bonus amounts are designed to provide extra support for specific groups who have faced unique challenges or additional expenses. Parents and caregivers can qualify for bonus payments for each dependent child, including adult children who are still financially dependent due to education, disability, or economic circumstances. Small business owners and self-employed individuals who experienced significant income disruption can also qualify for these bonus payments, recognizing that traditional unemployment benefits often didn't adequately cover their losses. Senior citizens represent another group that could see substantial bonus payments under this new program. If you're over 65 years old, you may qualify for additional payments designed to help offset increased healthcare costs, prescription drug expenses, and the disproportionate impact that inflation has had on fixed incomes. The government has acknowledged that seniors on Social Security and fixed pensions have been hit particularly hard by rising costs for essential items like food, housing, and medical care. Are you currently receiving Social Security benefits and finding it increasingly difficult to make ends meet each month? One of the most significant aspects of this new stimulus program is how quickly the payments are expected to be distributed. Unlike previous rounds that took months to reach all eligible recipients, the infrastructure is already in place to begin processing and sending these payments within weeks of the final approval. The IRS and Treasury Department have streamlined their systems based on lessons learned from earlier stimulus distributions, and they're promising much faster turnaround times for getting money into people's accounts. Direct deposit recipients should expect to see their payments first, potentially within 2 to 3 weeks of processing. If you've received previous stimulus payments via direct deposit, your banking information is already on file, and you shouldn't need to take any additional action to receive your new payment. For those who received previous payments by mail, you can expect your check or prepaid debit card to arrive within 4 to 6 weeks. However, there's an option to update your payment information online to potentially receive your money faster through direct deposit. The qualification process for these payments is designed to be much more straightforward than previous rounds. You don't need to file a special application or jump through complicated bureaucratic hoops. If you filed a tax return in 2022 or 2023, received previous stimulus payments, or are currently receiving Social Security, SSDI, or other federal benefits, you're likely already in the system and will automatically be considered for these new payments. But what if your financial situation has changed significantly since your last tax filing? The new program includes provisions for people to update their information and demonstrate current financial need even if their previous tax returns might suggest they wouldn't qualify. For people who haven't filed recent tax returns or who don't typically file because their income is below the filing threshold, there will be a simple online portal where you can provide basic information to claim your payments. This addresses one of the major criticisms of previous stimulus rounds where some of the most financially vulnerable Americans had difficulty accessing their payments because they weren't connected to the traditional tax filing system. The economic impact of this stimulus package is expected to be substantial and immediate. Financial experts are predicting that injecting this amount of direct cash into the economy could provide significant relief for consumer spending, help reduce household debt burdens, and provide a much-needed boost to local businesses and communities. When people receive direct payments like this, the money typically gets spent quickly on essential needs like housing, food, transportation, and healthcare, which creates a multiplier effect throughout the economy. But beyond the immediate economic stimulus, this program represents a recognition that many Americans are still dealing with the long-term financial consequences of recent economic disruption. Even as employment numbers have recovered and the stock market has performed well, many individual families and workers are still struggling with the cumulative impact of job losses, reduced hours, increased costs, and depleted savings. Are you someone who managed to keep working through recent challenges but found yourself falling behind financially despite your best efforts? The timing of these payments is particularly crucial as we head into the summer months when many families face additional expenses related to childcare, summer activities, and preparing for the upcoming school year. For families with children, the combination of the base $7,000 payment plus potential bonus amounts for dependents could provide the financial cushion needed to cover these seasonal expenses without going into debt or making difficult choices between necessities. Small business owners and entrepreneurs should pay particular attention to the bonus payment provisions, as these could provide crucial working capital for businesses that are still recovering from economic disruption. If you own a small business that experienced revenue losses, had to reduce staff, or took on debt to survive recent challenges, the bonus payments could help stabilize your operations and potentially allow you to reinvest in growth opportunities. Healthcare workers, teachers, and other essential workers who continued working throughout recent challenges may also qualify for bonus payments in recognition of the additional risks and stresses they faced. These payments acknowledge that many essential workers not only continued performing critical jobs, but often did so at personal risk and without adequate compensation for their increased responsibilities. As we wait for the final implementation details and payment schedules to be announced, it's important to make sure your contact information and banking details are up to date with the IRS. If you've moved, changed banks, or had any other changes to your financial information since your last interaction with the government, now is the time to update those records to ensure smooth payment processing. This fourth stimulus package represents more than just another government payment program. It's a recognition that economic recovery looks different for different people and that many Americans need substantial, direct financial support to truly get back on stable ground. Whether you're dealing with accumulated debt, trying to rebuild depleted savings, or simply trying to keep up with the rising costs of daily life, these payments could provide the financial relief and stability you've been hoping for. The question now isn't whether this relief is coming, but how quickly you'll receive it and how you'll use this opportunity to improve your financial situation moving forward.